Yeah.
It's all good though.
Okay.
So we're gonna get everything. So I'm gonna go here.
Let me make sure my name is on Instagram. I think it's so SuavenyV is my the YouTube, and Swappin92 is Instagram. But to be simple, y'all can just call me Vince for short, or whatever.
Vince?
Yeah, Vince. Yeah. My first name is Winston Thomas, but online, on the internet, I just put Swappin.
Put it in there. Yeah, that plaque. So yeah, Sam, we're gonna put that plaque. We're gonna hang that plaque. We gonna put that plaque up in there. That 100,000 plaque. Yeah, we're gonna put that plaque up in there, man. Hang it somewhere on the wall, somewhere. Gotta be hung up.
Y'all just hit that, must be like.
Yeah, we just hit that bit. Yeah.
This week it had to be.
So you got anything you don't want to talk about?
Nah. I can't even think of that. Nah. We can talk about pretty much everything. I watch y'all enough. I watch y'all enough to know how y'all do. So y'all do good interviews. I just seen one with you yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but maybe what yesterday. He was like, I forgot his name. I don't know if he did time or whatever. And he was like, would tell me like from the childhood, like from the beginning, because that tells everything, you know.
Yeah. So you understand?
Yeah.
Okay then.
So about 20, 30 minutes, I'm gonna get up and check everything.
Okay.
Cause they know we
Slide in a little bit, son. Make sure we all on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Say, man. Know what time it is, man. Welcome to the Game Lady Podcast, man. Make it to the city, man. Welcome to Dallas, man. You done drove all the way. You done came all the way down to Dallas. But most of all, I want to say this here, man. Make sure y'all go to subscribe to this guy on all his platforms, right? His name right there. And I want to say this. You hit me up. Been a minute ago. And you said, dude, I got some things going on right now, man.
Yeah.
Once I get things situated,
Yeah.
he said, man, I need to sit down with you.
Right.
I need to build up my YouTube platform. I need to build up everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah. But you told me, you said, man, I need to, I want to build up my platform. I want to tell my story. I got something to say. I thought you were bullshit. Why I say that? Because majority of people say that, they don't come across the table. You hit me up and you said, dude, I'm ready. I said, you ready? He said, yeah. And you showed me you were ready. You hear?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, I'm gonna holler at OG Sane. I said, we gonna do what we do, man. And I wanna say, man, I wanna say thank you for coming, man, and standing on your word and being a man of your word, because a lot of youngsters ain't a man of their word.
Yeah, that's true. I appreciate that. Well, let's go back to when I first tried to reach out. First I didn't have no social media, so no social media, and I wanted to get in contact with Charleston, so I be watching some of his. So since I didn't have social media, I only had YouTube. So I be watching Charleston videos, and sometimes he'll go live, man, take my number, man, and he'll be like, if you want to reach out to me, contact OG Sane and contact my manager. So I'm like, man, I'm tripping. I gotta get an Instagram to reach out to people, because first I thought showing off online, taking pictures, recording itself, that was corny, that was whack. I feel like if I was the man in real life, so I feel like when people be online, they must be popular and cool in school. That's why they online, but I had it wrong. I ain't knew y'all was getting paid online the whole time. So I reach out to either both of y'all, cause it's so many Charleston White pages, and that was January of 2024, and then you responded. When you responded? When you responded this year? This year March.
Yeah.
And you was like, what you trying to do? I was so happy, bro. I was like, man, first I was like, man, them people, they got too much money. They doing too much. They traveling. They ain't gonna look at the messages. Thousands of people watching them. They ain't gonna check it. And then you was like, what you trying to do? I was like, no, first I sent you that message. I told you who I was, what I'm about, what I'm on. And I asked you, did you ready? You was like, yeah, I read it. And he was like, what you trying to do? And then you was like, you told me the price or whatever. And I was like, I ain't working. I don't got no money. I ain't working. I just want to, see what I can do, see what the price is so I can work towards the goal. I hurt my back and my neck at work, so I was like on workers' comp, fighting with that. They stalling me with the bread, and then finally, make a long story short, I got the money. Like, yo, I'm ready. But I figured, when I reach out to you and I told you like, yo, they trying to give me a low price, and then I was like, I gotta wait, and then I was like, he probably think I'm playing, but I was like, you gave me, I paid for the phone call, and you gave me your number, you gave me a word. I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep my word, and then it took 6 months. 6 months later, you know what I'm saying, I got it, and now we here. So. And
I'm gonna honor my word.
Yeah, I appreciate you for just answering the text. When you answer the text, and then I call you, I was like, oh yeah, I feel like I made it already, just by you responding. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like once I get around y'all face to face, look y'all eye to eye, just talk, speak from the heart, and tell the truth, like the sky's the limit. I believe that.
Man, that's what's up, man. We're here now, bro.
So progress done been made. That's what this exemplifies. You say you drove from where you drive from?
I flew.
From where?
Up New York.
You from New York?
Well, I'm from South Carolina, Darlington, South Carolina.
But you live in New York?
Yeah, I live in New York. I've been in New York since like 2018.
Yeah, that's
I come from a small town. I wanted to make it, man. I wanted to be rich a long time. So I just said, if I just get around the right people, I thought if I get around the right people, get around a city that's full of millionaires and billionaires, I might look up and, you know what I'm saying, and make it and get it if I put the work in and get around the right people. I believe that.
And so you just upped and went to New York thinking
I ain't told nobody.
Those thoughts.
I don't got no kids, mama, daddy. I ain't told nobody. I told my friends and a couple girls, and I was out. I ain't went back since. I visited, but I just left.
So you went to New York by yourself with a car?
Nah, I had a car down south. I wrecked my car. I got in a wreck. So that one thing I like about New York, you don't need no car to make it.
Okay, so did you have a place to stay?
Well, so I kind of did and kind of didn't. But what I did have was a job. So I was working at Walmart Distribution Center down south, and I transferred to the store. And once I transferred to the store, I transferred to the store in my town, and then I transferred from my town to New York. So I was working at night. So I was so hungry, I was like, even if I got a place to stay at night, I'm working at night. I can work at night, take a shower at the gym, and get another part-time job and solo at Guess during the daytime. So I could find a place to stay eventually. So, but to answer your question, I did have a cousin that let me stay in his room for a while. But I was working at night and working at day. So, and then you living, so you ain't really got time to be in the house unless you like taking a shower. But I ended up eventually getting my own crib after like a year and a half, something like that. But
That's a good move. I'm gonna say this here before we get to going because it kind of coincide with your story. I was working in the oil field in Baytown, Texas. I was working at nights. I had been down there for a couple of months, I think. So I got a rent at home I'm paying, and then I'm paying like $500 to $700 a week just to sleep in. I'm only sleeping like 4 hours a day, maybe 5. Then cause I get off work, I go to sleep, jump up, go give me a bag of salad, a rotisserie chicken, go work out, shower at the gym. By the time I leave the gym, it's time for me to go to work.
Right.
So one time they had an event in the city, and when I went to check in the room, wasn't no rooms. So I ended up just pulling up to a truck stop because I had a little Suburban. So shit, I was tired, so I looked in the back of my Suburban and say, shit, man, I can lay them seats down and go to sleep back there. So I climbed back there, go to sleep, and had one of the best sleeps of my life. So I say, damn. So I get in the truck stop. I'm saying this here just to let people know that it's ways to sacrifice and survive and be comfortable and save your money.
Right.
So I go into the truck stop and I seen they got like skillets, crock pots that plug into the cigarette lighter. So now my mind is going out. I'm saying, man, I can make it like this. That's $700 I've been spending on a room. I can save. And man, I ain't got, because that's really a waste of money. So now I'm saying it's only costing me $10 a month to work out at the gym. I'm showering at the gym. I'm using the restroom facilities. So that was, I worked at night. But it was in the summertime. So I get off at like 5 in the morning so that he gonna wake you up by noontime. Between 10 and noon, you gonna be up. So by then, I go work out, go on, get the meals I'm gonna eat. Then I might have an hour and a half. I go take a nap and then go on back to work. So I started saving that $700 a week rather than spending it on the room just to sleep for 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's why I asked you that, man. So, you know, that's a strategy for people that's trying to make it, that need to create some extra money to save. Right. That's a way you can save some money.
That's true.
No, that way. Real life soldiers, man. Survive by any means necessary, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, man. Yeah, man. So we're gonna drive in, man. Man, give us a background check, man. We need to know where you're from, where you know everything about you, man. Give it to us, man.
Hold up before you do. What we asking you is to take us back to V as a kid at about 5 years old.
5 years old.
What you can remember?
That one thing I thank God for my memory, because I can remember when I was 5 years old. So I was blessed. So I stayed with my mom, single parent home. My dad, he was in my life, but he wasn't in my home. So my dad was in my life, so I see him almost every day, every other day, every weekend. And I had grandma across the street. So I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to have grandma and great grandma. That's where I learned my game from. I hear Charleston White say he learned his game from his uncles in the barbershop. That I learned my game from grandma, great grandma, and her kids. Grandma had five kids. So I was fortunate enough and blessed enough not to go to the babysitter. Grandma. So when I got out of the hospital, great grandma watched over me and raised me. When I used to be like a teenager, I used to be sitting out talking to my grandma. She'd say, "Boy, you know when you was a baby, your mom used to go to work. I used to get out my bed and get in the bed with you, because I was a baby." And she'd say, "I should just, take care of you." So she'll never let me forget that she took care of me. So I got my game and my knowledge from my great grandma. Like, grandma used to sit right here. I used to sit right here, and she used to talk to me, teach me. And one valuable lesson that she taught me at 5, she used to talk to me so deep that I couldn't understand it, but I heard it. I could comprehend, and I heard it. But you might not put it into perspective until like 20 years later. So one of the most valuable lessons that she taught me that I want to share with the young kids today is that she taught me that respect will carry me further than money. That's the main thing she taught me. And in today's world, you see so many people my age and younger in their 20s, they'll choose money over respect, and they'll choose money over everything. And she taught me a lot of jewels. She taught me money. She taught me respect will carry you further than money. She taught me like, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay out of trouble. Trouble is easy to get into, hard to get out. And she just told me to just stay away from like evil. Stay away from devilment. You heard that word?
Yeah, most definitely.
She used to call it devilment. She say stay away from devilment. So I had my Uncle Spook, which remind me of Charleston. My Uncle Spook, he just passed last year, November. He was 80 years old, and he stayed in New York. And he left down south at 17 and moved to New York. And he was wild. You know what I'm saying? He was wild, known for knocking people out and cutting and stuff. So, but he made it, and he had a job all his life, and his story inspired me. So, growing up, traveling to New York, I always loved the buildings and loved the women, loved the weather, loved everything. I like, I'm gonna live in New York. So I grew up outside. I grew up with great grandma and grandma. They taught me the game, and like I said, her kids. So when I was 5, my older cousins was y'all age, 20 years older than me, and then I had a few more cousins was 30 years older than me, and I had my grandma kids was 50 years older than me. So I ain't start hanging around people my age till I was like in the 7th grade. I had a few cousins we used to play outside. That one grandma ain't had no cable. She ain't had central air, but she had like AC. So we spent time in the house when she taught us the game, but we was outside up on the tree, riding bikes, playing football. I played by myself growing up. I had cousins growing up, but I really played by myself. I used to throw the ball up by myself, catch it. I used to shoot the ball, and if I miss, I used to run so fast, catch it, and then shoot it again. I used to throw the frisbee by myself. I ride a bike by myself. I rode dirt bikes forwards by myself. So I was the only child, so I've been by myself. And I had older people around me. So
what year you was born?
92, 32.
92.
Yeah. So my older cousins, y'all age, right? So I love to ask my older cousin, what you was doing when you was my age? And boy, they love to tell me what they was doing because it was wild. So when I was 5, my cousin then was in their prime, and my grandma used to tell me, don't you go up on that tree hanging with them, don't you hang with them. And as a kid, I was like, dog, why I can't hang around them? They family. But she was kind of saying they was doing wrong. I ain't never seen them doing wrong, but she was like, you know, stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? Then I learned older why, like, to kind of like stay away from that. So yeah.
So what was it like for you in school when you were going to school? What was that like?
So in school, I couldn't be bad. I had a daddy that was on my ass. He'll pull up to the school and he'll get on you. He'll embarrass you. Like he'll make a scene. He's more like a military guy, but he ain't went to the military. But in school, I did the right thing. I ain't got in trouble. I made good grades. I used to make like C's and D's. I wasn't no very smart person. I used to like 4th, 5th grade, I started to struggle in school. I used to try to go to school early in the morning to kind of catch up, and then stay later in school and catch up, and still don't understand that stuff. So that wasn't really my thing. So I always knew how to dress. I always knew how to get fly, and I always knew how to sell. So I used to, 7th grade, we used to take 2 book bags to school. So 1 book bag to sell work, like clothes, pencils, t-shirts, chips, sodas, and one for like work and stuff like that. But I was good in school. I wasn't bad though. But one thing I can tell you about school, I remember like in 7th grade when that gangs and stuff started, and everybody was like being bad. Being bad was the cool thing, and I wasn't being bad. So it wasn't cool at the time to do the right thing and be bad. So they used to tease me, make fun of me and all that, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I end up coming out on top, because like you see, in today's world, doing bad and being bad, doing wrong, it'll catch up with you. Not saying you gotta be perfect, but certain choices you can like not choose. Yeah.
Man, that's interesting. So you never been to juvenile or nothing?
No, I ain't never been suspended, bro.
What's up, man?
So I had a mama that'll cuss you out. I had a daddy that'll get your mind right. And I had grandma telling you about God. You better not do wrong. So I was. They had me brainwashed. I was scared of trouble, bro. I was scared of getting in trouble because, my mama and my grandma, they made it work. I wouldn't advise this though, but a woman got to do what she got to do to protect her child. But she used to tell me like, if you do wrong and if you be bad, you ain't gonna be successful in life. So I'm like, damn, I can't do wrong because I want to be successful. My main thing is I want to be successful. I want to be straight. So I couldn't do bad. I couldn't be bad. They ain't play that.
I got to ask you this. I wasn't gonna ask you, but I gotta ask you because you say you from what part of Carolina?
Darlington, South Carolina.
Darlington, South Carolina.
We call it D-Town.
And it wasn't a whole lot of you basically played with family.
Yeah.
Did y'all have the kissing cousins in South Carolina?
Nah, I'm gonna tell you why. Like I said, I ain't really grew around. We had a lot of cousins like our age, but we used to have cookouts, 4th of July, the holidays, and then the cousins come together then. But grandma taught us right from wrong. So I hear Charleston White say your brain don't develop until like 25. My brain was developed at 5, bro, because my grandma, you see how y'all looking at me and talking to me with that serious face? She used to do the same thing. And then most kids don't want to hear that, but grandma was so interesting, it made sense. And grandma gonna tell you the real, and it made sense to be like, they kind of like listen. So nah, we ain't had that. We knew better.
It wasn't granny, it was you. Cause see, a whole lot of kids have a granny that's doing the same thing your granny was doing, but they not receptive to it. It's something about you that made you receptive to the wise counsel. See, a whole lot of kids have people trying to give it to them, they just don't digest it because they don't want it, they don't desire it. You had a desire to do right, to be right, to live right, and that's why you so composed right today. And I only been around you for like 15, 20 minutes.
And like this interview is a special interview.
Right.
Special interview. Why? Because we done had everybody coming here that was in prison, been to jail, got kicked out, been on the tough shit, been on some gangster shit, all that shit. We got somebody that ain't never been expelled in school. And you the kind of kid I want to talk to.
Right.
So a lot of time when we say we need to talk to those kids that's going that way, we forget about the kids that's going straight.
Yeah.
We forget about the kids that's doing all the right things.
Yeah.
So my mind has always said, man, I want to talk to the one that's doing the right things too, man. You see what I'm saying? So, and I say especially because they need to understand the reason why you chose to go a certain way.
Let me tell you the reason why I chose to go a certain way. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like I said, a mom, she gonna do what she gotta do to protect you. And my mama told me at the 4th grade, she said, boy, if your ass go to jail, I ain't putting in my house for nobody. I had to figure out what that meant. I ain't knew what that meant at the age. And then when I got older, I learned that it meant that when you go out there and do wrong, get in trouble, your mom may not have the bread, so she got to put her house up. And my mama done heard stories about people putting their house up, and then the kids keep messing up and have their kids' credit messed up, house gone. My mama told me at a young age. if you don't sell dope, if you do it, I'm not coming to bail you out, and I'm not putting my house up for you. She told me that as a kid, 4th grade. And she told me, she said, boy, you a pretty boy. You a ladies man. You go to jail, they gonna fuck the shit out you in jail, boy. She said, they gonna stick bottles up your ass and they gonna stick broomsticks up your ass. That's all she had to tell me. I said, man, I'm about to play pussy. I'd rather play pussy and really be gangster than be pussy and be acting gangster. That's what I told myself.
Yeah.
Because I like girls, man. That's why I moved to New York. I like women. I like women. You know what I'm saying? And I like to live. And I never could understand why people love to fight, love to do stuff to go to jail. I'm like, bro, y'all must be, even as a kid, I'm like, y'all want to go to jail? Now, if I gotta go, if I end up there from, anybody can end up there. I done seen movies where that White Mustang movie was, and they just end up in jail. If you end up in jail, you end up in there. You gotta handle your business, but intentionally doing something you know that's wrong, like I ain't really done that. Not saying I'm perfect, but certain stuff I ain't doing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It wasn't a fear. It was the fact that you had somebody that was consistently installing certain kind of things inside of you.
Nurturing you.
They were nurturing you as you was going down your journey. They was teaching you something that we can't, it's hard to teach the kids of today. It's called love.
Yeah.
See, once you got that love that's installed in you, and you start developing that, you start asking yourself, why do I want to hurt another person?
Right. You didn't have to try to go outside of the people who really loved you to compensate or supplement what you was desiring, because all the things that you was desiring, all of the emotions that you wanted to feel was being fulfilled at home. But you don't realize how special you are to be told the things you was told, and for it to resonate in me. We was told that shit.
We was told the same
it
shit.
Didn't mean shit. We didn't give a damn.
Well, I want to ask y'all, how y'all, cause I watched Dude say he got him a 2-parent home, his mama didn't play, dad didn't play. I always love to ask guys like y'all, why y'all still was so bad? Like, how y'all still had the heart?
It was called influence. It was called wanting to be accepted, wanting to be down. It was called the environment. When you come out your environment and you step outside of your house where there's so much love, and where I got mom and daddy, I stepped outside where it's nothing but hatred.
Okay.
And in order for me to even feel like I need to survive, or even if I feel like I gotta be a part of it. So I won't be picked on, so I won't be this. So I went out to do what I seen everybody else doing. And everybody else was hurting people.
I feel you.
You see what I'm saying? But I didn't develop like you developed. So you gotta pat yourself on the back for being a special kid.
For real.
I was the one that wanted to be down. You didn't want to be down. See, I was the one that, I'm the weak nigga. See, some people look at you, when I was growing up, we looked at you like a weak ass nigga.
That's how they were back in the day.
Yeah, but in reality, you was the one because you didn't want to be accepted. You didn't want to be down.
Right.
You didn't want to listen to no niggas. You didn't want no, you wasn't with that.
Right.
So that's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
That's true though, that makes sense. That's true. Yeah, I ain't want to be accepted because, like I said, in 7th grade, when they were trying to recruit for gangs and stuff, they were like, y'all don't be in a gang? I'm like, so what y'all do? Once I found out they wasn't getting no girls, y'all ain't getting no money, I'm fresh head to toe. This 05, 06, we trying to dress like Joel Santana and them boys from New York. We academics, polo. We weren't band polo. We academics, Jabos, LRG. We fresh white ones. Y'all ain't getting no money. Y'all ain't getting no girls. Y'all ain't getting fly. And then y'all ain't even smart enough to have girls from high school bring y'all food from junior high. We used to have some of us used to have girls from high school bringing us food, and we used to have girls picking us up, older cousins picking us up. I said, y'all ain't got no cars. Y'all ain't driving. why would I join y'all gang, bro? Y'all don't do nothing but hurt people. I like to help people.
Oh man.
I don't want to hurt nobody. I ain't never had the heart to want to hurt somebody. Now they deserve it. That's a different story. But I ain't never had the want to hurt another man, especially for no reason. You finna go beat up somebody for no reason? I ain't finna do that, bro. You tripping. I always been like that.
That's a special kid. That's a special kid to even wake up to think like that, homie. And that's just keeping it real. We call you lame, but I'm telling you that, man, you special. And I feel like there's a lot of kids out there in our society right now, man. They just like you. And a lot of them, get what they do?
They be quiet, don't say nothing.
No,
They
choose.
get influenced.
They choose to get influenced because of what social media say.
Yeah.
Because of what, everybody say.
Right.
This what you supposed to do. This how you be cool. This how you supposed to be. And I'm sitting there looking like, no.
Yeah.
So you are Postal Child. I just want you to know that you are Postal Child. For the Game Related Podcast, you is officially our Postal Child. And I want to have a Postal Child because I want to see more of you than them niggas and then them young motherfuckers who don't listen to their mama, dad, or don't listen to nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now, go ahead, Sane.
Cause it really, I'm glad you said Postal Child, cause I was just about to say, nowhere in our culture do you see anybody that propagate this image.
Thanks.
Nowhere in our culture. So it's not even presented to the kids for them to grab a hold to it. Yeah. It's kind of like when I be talking about, you'll see dudes glorify a girl shaking her ass all day. They'll drown her in money. Mm-hmm. But a little girl sitting there reading the book will get looked over or never get acknowledged.
Thanks,
so a young boy that's being influenced and is resonating and taking root and guiding the development of his character to do what's right is overlooked not only by the people who don't know better, but also by the ones who know better. See, it's people that's around, that's aware, that'll hear your story and understand the magnitude of it, but they won't propagate it. They won't grab it and push it because it goes against the narrative.
You're right.
Yeah, it goes against the narrative. But man, you everything that kids should be striving to be. They just don't see it enough.
Right. So
they think it ain't what's up. They think being the one that's throwing the money to the worthless girl that's wasting her time is something to strive for. Whereas the person that's modeling themselves after you, striving for the little girl that's sitting down reading, it ain't exciting.
Right.
It's a dull light, so it don't attract the mouse.
And you don't get the light. You don't get the light in the world we live in.
Right.
You don't get it, nigga. You ain't been in prison. You ain't put in no work. You ain't hurt nobody.
And it ain't a song.
You ain't beefing.
I ain't never beefing no man.
But think about that. You don't supposed to get the light though.
Right.
We gotta change the format and saying now if we give more light to people like you, do you know how many kids that'll sit up and say, "No, man, I want to be on the Game Related Podcast"? Cause they accepting those people that's doing the right thing. Because it seems like the world we live in don't accept none but the people that's doing the wrong thing, my guy. Right. You told us something, I want to jump into it. You said that you left South Carolina and you moved to North Carolina. New York. Tell us why you did that, man.
Cause let me tell you the truth. When I graduated, so when I graduated from high school, right? So your mom and daddy, most of our moms and dads want us to be like them. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They want you to get a job where the mama work at or get a job where the daddy work at. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So when I graduated, I said, man, I'm finna do me. So I've been like being myself since 7th grade, like, you know, just being me, just find out who I am, find out what I like, find out what I want to do. But it's time to get paid from that. So what I did was when I graduated, I went on an interview and asked every man in my family, in my life, So what you do for a living? If you tell me where you work at, why you work there? So I wouldn't start asking men why. Why you work at a place that you work at? He tell me why. If you've been there 15 years, why you ain't stayed 5? If you stayed 15 years, why you stayed 30? Why you stayed at this job so long? When you was my age, what was you doing? What was your dreams when you was my age? And the answers I got was scary. It'll make you cry, because most men don't even think about why they doing what they doing, why they working where they working at. If you ask a man why he married to the girl that he married to, he don't even know. He'll tell you, man, I had a baby from her. Or they'll tell you an answer that you be like, dang, bro, you 40, 50 years old, you don't know. I'm saying this in my head. So I'm like, so why you stay in Darlington? Why you stay in this place? If you say you want to move to Atlanta, why you ain't in Atlanta? I'm just asking. And they'd be like, man, I got caught up. I caught a case. I got kids. They don't believe. So most kids had people outside the neighborhood that they wanted to be like. I had people in my neighborhood that I didn't want to be like. No disrespect. I ain't want to be like nobody, y'all. I respect y'all and I love y'all and I appreciate y'all, but I don't want to drive what you driving. I don't want to work at the place that you work at. I don't want to live, and I'm a very observant person. I watch people go to work, come home from work, watch TV, and laugh. I watch Charleston White say, man, I don't watch no football. I ain't, like, he said a perfect example. I'm not watching no men, this is his opinion, and I agree. I'm not watching no another man play a sport and he get paid and I got bills and I ain't chasing my own dreams. So a lot of stuff ain't made sense. So I was like, I ain't want to do that. If I got a choice, if I got a choice to choose, I'm gonna choose. If I ain't got no choice, I do what I gotta do, because you ain't got no choice. But if I got a choice, I'm gonna be like, I'm coming to America. Them boys pick any city in the world to go find his wife. Remember that on America? Yeah. So I did the same thing. It either gonna be Miami because I like girls. It either gonna be California because the weather good, and Hollywood they're gonna be New York. But New York I had a better chance because my Uncle Spook, he moved to New York. I was going to New York since 7th grade by myself, and I seen how that maneuver. So I come from the South, off the ground, so I thought it was cool to get a crib in the sky on the 50th floor. When you look outside your crib, you see sky. I thought that was dope. So I wanted to, and I got a rich uncle, my Uncle Archie, and on my dad's side, and my grandma used to take me to, he stayed in Beaufort, South Carolina, so they used to take me to go, she used to go see her sister, and I sometimes might go to his dealership. When we pull up, this man got his name on the building. He used to have his name on the back of, he wore suits every day. He used to have his name right here and his name right here. And I watch how the energy that he have, and his wife ain't never worked. So I don't got no kids. I ain't never had a girlfriend. I ain't never been in a relationship because I want my first girl to not work, and I want her to, you know what I'm saying? I seen that. So I heard Steve Harvey say, once your mind get big, once you see what you want to see, that's all I could imagine. So I saw it, and then it was scary when I started to interview guys from my neighborhood and my family members about why they work, where they work at, why they married, who they married. So you was good in basketball, you had a scholarship, why you ain't went on to do it? Man, they got caught up with a girl. It's small mistakes that got them caught up. So I was like, man, I'ma just try not to get got. Like, I'm trying to get nobody pregnant. Ain't nothing wrong with having a baby, but I'm gonna try not to have a baby for the wrong person. I'm gonna try not to, if I can help it. I said that, I'm gonna try not to get killed, try not to kill nobody, try not to go to jail, and try not to just get caught up. If I do, and try not to get in too much debt. So when the opportunity do call, you can move. So I seen the people around me that I didn't want to be like, and I say, nah, this ain't it. If I'm around the wrong thing, I go out. I'm finna go. I can't, this ain't it. So that mainly why I left. You know what I'm saying? I had to. And you know, when you're young, you wanna figure out what you wanna do with your life. And I was scared to get caught up because most people, everybody in my family on my mom's side, my dad's side, especially my mom's side, I applaud them because they work at their job for 20, 30, 40 years. And I applaud them for that. That's a big accomplishment for a person can go to work. My mama been on her job for 35 years. I watch her go to work, come home, go to work, come home, and be successful. But we stay in a new era in time, and we, thanks to the internet, like we don't have to do that. And I want to spend my time on learning how to get rich. I didn't know how to get rich. I didn't know. At first, I thought you had to be born rich, like you had to come from a trust fund family. So once I